Uh-oh. Bottom set for Scott. The case 4 on the flop. Kelvin with bottom pair and an open ender. Peter Jetton's all in with the pair of fives. I'm just in a hand on the side here. And Scott in the small blind has a pair. Knows that Peter Jetton has 10 blinds, so he may elect to gamble here. I feel like threes is one hand too far. Like if he has fours, Scott probably gambles, but threes is a fold. That's where I'd guess the line is. But I don't know for sure.
You see less experienced players fold.
Let's see what Scott elects to do here.
You never know.
Chipping up in the 55 KO series, man. Come on 75K.
Less experienced players rejam deuces way too much, and I've seen them fold like nines face up as well. You know.
All right, there's a fold. What stakes tournaments should I play if I'm a millionaire here in the Philippines? From Jana Boy. Well, for your situation, like you should just play where you're financially comfortable, where it's not affecting your life, and it's an enjoyable amount of money, and it's, interesting enough for you to play, basically. So for most people, the smallest level where you have some level of interest is probably where you should start. That's what I guess. But how much money you have outside of poker when you're playing for fun, I think that just gives you a threshold for like how much impact it's going to have on your actual life. Just because you have $1 million doesn't mean you can hop into like a $1,000 game and win. Like you're not going to be good enough to win, right? So you're going to have to grow like everyone else, regardless of how much money you have to get to be profitable in that game. But if you have a lot of money and you just are okay with losing a bit in equity in your $1,000 tournament, you're okay. Like, okay, I'm going to lose $100 every time, but I'm going to enjoy playing for more money that might mean something in real life to me if I actually win this thing for 100K and learning, then do that, dude. So it's very individual sort of solution to that, but enjoy it, man. I don't know what poker's like in the Philippines or how much poker is played there, but it's a beautiful game. It's really great. So Ben Heath raises it up to 1.2 million, a pure min raise, and Nicholas Marchinston is going to call in the big blind. So we're going to a flop, which is 7-4-3. It looks like a Nicholas Marchinston flop. He flops a gut shot here. Flops a gut shot. It's okay. Kind of good, but the thing is, I'm only downswing right now. How long will this downswing last? From Giano Boy. It's tough to say, dude. Your downswing will last. Well, I mean, there's a mathematical formula to tell you like the likelihood of how long it's going to last, or the probabilities. As Ben Heath has made the top pair top kicker on the turn here. But to know the mathematical formula for how long it's going to last, you need to know your edge. And to know your edge is very difficult. It's just an estimation, right? So I guess to give like an imprecise sort of platitude of poker answer would be the downswing is probably going to last longer than you expect it could. But it will end. Probably. Is that a... I mean, that's... Yeah. They're always more brutal than people think they are. When you're in one, you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Like, will it ever stop? I'm so unlucky. And then at some point later in your poker life, it happens even worse. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe that it gets this much worse. Can it get even worse? And of course it can. It just keeps going, you know? Just like, sometimes you just can't believe it. Just like 7 days in a row, you've just been getting smashed in every spot. Like, can't win an all in, keep getting sucked out on. You're just like, wow. I work really hard. I go to all this effort, and I just get crushed. But, yeah, it'll happen, man. Moving down to stakes is the hardest thing to do when you're on a downswing. It is hard for a lot of people. For me, I'm cool with it, man. I haven't really struggled with that part of it, but for a lot of people, it is really tough to do. Uh-oh! We've got problems here. Ben Heath bets, and Nicholas Marchinston is jamming with the double gutter. Looks like. Oh, no, it's a call. Never mind. It's a call. I thought it was a jam. Nicholas Marchinson has a deuce or a 6 to make the best hand. Sometimes an 8 or a 5, but we can see does not make the best hand here. 9 of hearts on the end. I thought he went for the check raise. So, whoa. Whoa. So now Ben Heath has to decide, do I go for value with the ace-king or do I just check here? Almost looked to relent with his facial like his face for a second there, you know? It almost seemed like he was going to just give it up.
Still have 5-6, and you can have 9-7 now, and ace-9.
I'm currently on a 7 to 8 month one, Jamie. I know the feeling. Yeah, man. Did we get a bet or is Ben? Oh yeah, he threw in a time chip, so he's still thinking. I feel like he's gonna check. Like you can almost see it on his face. I almost feel like he's let his guard down by showing so much facial recognition, you know, or so much emotion. I could be wrong, but it seems like he's giving off a lot here. Nope, never mind. He's all in.
I don't really like this much.
11.1 million. Okay, that's some higher level stuff, man. Because the all in shove. I mean, Ben is essentially saying like, hey, when you play your hand this way and you just call on the turn as opposed to raise, you're unable to have very strong hands. You're unable to have sets and 2 pairs and stuff like that. In which case, I effectively have the nuts, so I can just go for a huge overbet because your range is really capped. That's kind of like the concept that's going on there. Now, he actually had it in that situation, but then sometimes he's going to be bluffing as well. Should Nick bluff the river with 2 blockers? Well, it's a tough spot for Nick because it's like you don't want to check call on the turn with 1 card to come. It's not very fun, but he did. And if he's not going to bluff on that river, then it's a pretty difficult situation, you know? It's like how are you going to make this one pay off in the end? Were you always more of a tournament player or were you doing more cash games at one point? You used to play live cash games quite a bit before like streaming and Twitch and stuff and sponsorship. But since sponsorship, it's like not a very useful spend of my time because I'm not providing any value to sponsors and stuff or my audience here on Twitch. So yeah, I haven't really played any live cash since, but I really enjoy live cash games. It's like a nice, whoa, hey, we're back. It's a nice, it's like you're hanging out with your friends, man. That's the thing. Live cash games is just like, oh, go hang out with your friends. You know, you got a pop machine, coffee machine, tea. Grab whatever you want. Order some food at the table. Oh, you can even have a drink if you want. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Take a break. Go catch a movie. Come back. Like, doesn't matter, man. It's your life. You do your thing. Hang out. And just, like, get paid to hang. It's, especially if you can find a comfortable card room. And you have a card room where you kind of like the vibe and you like the culture of the place and you like the dealers and the people that work there and stuff. It really is, it's a happy thing, man. It's really great, you know? So I think at some point in my life, I will do a stint again where I just play live poker, like live card rooms for a while. Because it's a beautiful thing. It really is. Especially when you're just a regular. It becomes kind of like your office a bit, and you get to know everyone, and it's just, you know, you got a community. It's nice. Calvin's going to raise it up with the King 7 of clubs. Busby, best of luck playing keeper tonight, man. Big stops, all right? Big stops tonight. Jano Boy, planning to play the whole WPT series here in the Philippines. Hope the streaks end soon. Love playing the game, but the variance is really killing me. I hear you, man. Hang in there. Good luck in the WPT. Let me know how it goes, by the way, if you want to pop around after or during or whatever. Love to hear about it. And good luck, man. Have you ever played online while drunk? Like maybe 2 or 3 times, man. But not like seriously drunk. Not like impulsively just like, you know, just getting crazy and wild. I think... like once on my birthday, I did a stream where I had some scotch, and I played Scotch and Goes. That was the name. It was a hacky joke, but whatever. And then one New Year's, I fired up like a bunch of cash tables just because I thought it'd be funny. I always heard the games were super soft. But like, not really, man. I don't know. There's very little impulsive about like my poker life at this point. Like, emotion never drives me to make decisions. I've just been doing this for 10 years, you know what I mean? Like, the prospect of winning a tournament for $1,500 is nice and it's motivating, but it's not exciting. You know what I mean? It's motivating because I want to be successful in my career. But like, I don't think about the first place prize because I understand it's just fluctuations are natural. And I break it down to like, I'm going to make X amount of dollars per hour ish. And I'm trying to grow levels. And like, sometimes I'm going to win and then sometimes I'm going to go on losing streaks. And that's that, you know? So it's very process oriented, different than other aspects of my life. But when you do something over and over and over and over again, it just becomes a bit like that. Peter Jetton with the ace queen. Come on, Peter Jetton. Please get a double up, man. We need Peter Jetton still in the field. 40 left in the tournament. Legend of the game, Peter Jetton. He's got the ace of clubs, queen of hearts. It's time for the double up. Please. Aaron the small blinds. It's not it.
No, that's just Peter Jetton's face.
Benjamin Heath in the big blind with the king deuce. Gives it up. Nice hand, nice hand, nice hand. Nice hand, nice hand, whoa. Nice hand, nice hand, whoa. Nice hand, nice hand, whoa.
Shilling on 5.2 million.
May not be here too long.
Sorry. Darren Elias, very good poker player here. Been playing poker for a long time. Very good at the game. Sitting on a 5 million stack and very short. Still deep in this tournament. Not easy for the table. He's going to play the short stack very well. I think has a couple of WPT titles or something like that. I forget Darren Elias' story. Let me see if I can look it up. Darren Elias, Hendon Mob. Total live earnings of 7.5 million at this point. Let's get some recent caches here without spoiling this result. Let's just get his wins, actually. I'm going to sort by win. So he's won the 2,500 Southern Poker Championship for 21K. He won the 3,500 WPC at Borgata for 843,000. 3,500 WPT in the Caribbean, 127K. 5K at Fallsview for 326K. 10K Tournament of Champions for 387,000. Third place in a 10K at PCA. 25K High Roller in LA. He got second place. 5K Venetian Deep Stack. Second place for 200K. Guy's got around. Got some tournament results, man. Anyways, picking up the action. Scott raises it up under the gun with the ace king. Matthew under the gun +2 with the king deuce suited. Comes along. We go to a flop of queen jack 9 2 spades. At the Caribbean, spoilers. No, it was an EPT, not this Caribbean. Not this Caribbean, man. Should I pick up study without playing like a month, or do you think that's drastic? Pretty unlucky lately, and I want to play seriously in the future. Still losing player low stakes. My approach is to just dial back. Like, to not go drastic all the way. But, like, let's say you're playing 30 hours a week and you're studying 5 hours a week. Just make it so that you play 20 hours a week and study 12 hours a week. And then also move down in stakes so that you have a higher net edge. Not that you're not good enough to play the higher stakes. You probably are. But just get the higher edge for a short time, get some wins in, increase your confidence, feel good about your game again, study, increase your edge, increase your confidence, feel good about your game again, get the wins faster, and then back up, you know? Just like move down, do 3 things to help increase your edge, study, move down in stakes, decrease your playtime, increase your confidence, and then you'll move back up very quickly. So just like small adjustments, though. I don't think you need to stop playing like, okay, oh, I'm on a downswing. That's it. I'm done for a month. Not touching poker for a month. I'm only going to study in the lab. Like, that's very all or nothing. I'm with you on that approach. I'm an all or nothing guy, but I don't think it's productive. I think a slight adjustment is fine and the right approach, you know? Just a sliding scale. And if it's not enough, after like 2 weeks, then slide it a bit more. Like, okay, I'm going to play 1 day a week now. The rest of the time, I'm going to study. I don't know. That's how I do it. That's me, though. The Irish Poker Open starts on the 6th of April. Do you think someone could learn between now and then to have a chance? Of course, man. Of course. This is poker. 2 cards. Chips. Anyone has a chance. Peter Jetton has the ace king. Matthew raises up under the gun +1 with the ace 6 of spades to 1.2 million. This is the Peter Jetton dream. The ace of the king, 7.6 million in the middle. Now, can Matthew find a call, though, with the ace 6 here? Probably not. Probably not. No. No, 39 left. We continue. We continue on. Looking at the KO series. We're good here. We're fine. I studied before because it always makes me want to play. That is true, man. If you're lacking motivation in poker, I think that's the best way to get it, is to put in some study time, dude. Just be like, all right, I don't want to play poker. I don't really want to play poker at all right now. Why don't I just study for an hour? And you're going to want to play poker. Because it's going to be very tilting to have learned something new and not actually be able to put it into practice, generally. So I think that's a good idea. And I'm with you as well, Card Bandit. Yeah, like, playing is necessary motivation for me as well. Did you participate in the WSOP yet? I have. Yeah. I have played the 10K main event. It's a beautiful tournament, man. I like it. The problem is I currently live in Scotland. It's a long way to go to Vegas. It's a lot of time away from the stream. It's a lot of time away from Party Poker and Party Poker Team Online. Basically, like, it doesn't help me in my career. You know what I mean? It's a very special tournament, the most important tournament in poker. But the trade-off is really extreme. So that's why I haven't taken very many trips for the last several years to the World Series. But I'm sure I will in the future. Just in the short term, I'm very in the zone right now. Scott in the small blind with the ace and the ace. Uh-oh. Big hand, Calvin. Now, Calvin could probably get away here, but let's see what happens.
Here we go. Scotty with the aces.
Notice Calvin's gone for a 3x here. I mean,
right, that's
because of Elias's stack, but really bad.
Why Scotland? My fiance is from Yorkshire, North England. So it seemed like an adventure, a new place we hadn't been. She's got to get a surgery through the NHS here on her ear. So she's on the wait list for that. After she gets it, she's going to have to recover for 2 months. So if we have a house somewhere else, we would have to be apart for 2 months. Or if we live close together, she can, you know, after 3 or 4 days, take the train home and we can recover and be in the same place. So that's kind of why we're here. The short term, we'll just travel as well, you know. All right, Scott is all in. Darren Elias is going to fold. So back on Calvin, who folds to the all-in. Okay. All right, okay. All right, okay.
I love the time card with the aces. Love it.
Yeah, it makes sense as well. I think he was actually thinking about, like, every, you know, not...
I want Jamie to get a bracelet. Me too, Mr. Nice TSP. The thing about the bracelet is taxes are really bad for Canadians because they withhold 30% which you have to apply to get back with a U.S. tax return, which you can get back probably, mostly legitimately, but I don't really know exactly how it works. So you can get that back after you have to wait until halfway through like the next tax year or something, you know? So like you have to wait 16 months to get that 33% back if you do get it back, which makes it brutal, basically. Like financially, definitely not worth it as a Canadian poker player. It has to be about more than the finances. But you can play cash games, of course, right? You can play cash games. You can play sit and goes, which are not sort of tracked, and like you can crush and smash. But for tournaments and for a bracelet, like it's really ruthless tax-wise. But you know, maybe in the future, my fiance's English, so I don't know. Maybe we'll be dual citizens in the future. And if I lived in the UK, then I would be tax-free at the World Series of Poker, and then it would be very much worth it as well. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. 30% is a big deterrent, but a bracelet, man, true. Bracelet is the most important metric in poker. It is. It's the most important one, man.
Some people need to vent.
When the KO series starting, I'm playing one right now, man, actually. Here it is. So I got it going on the side. We're going to be playing more KO series today as well. Ben Heath is going to raise it up to 1.2 million. Action on Scott on the dealer button with the ace of diamonds, 9 of clubs. I think 3-betting is good here. It's a good stack to put some pressure on Ben Heath. You can 3-bet. You have 27 blinds, and then Ben Heath has to decide, do I risk my tournament life or fold? No, he probably would have here. He probably would have shoved, and it wouldn't have worked. But, you know, the button didn't know he had 9s either. So I think in the future, if I was Scott, I would 3-bet ace-9. Yeah, Hunter. Yeah, man. That's the thing. Like, if you win a World Series of Poker bracelet, you forever have that. Always. You're always a bracelet winner. Like, you're in the club for life. And to the public, you're a successful poker player. Like, you've made it. What you've done is incredible. So, I understand that's how the world works. Darren Elias is all in with the 5s here. Ben Heath obviously going to snap call with the 9s. 9.2 million in the middle. This is not looking good for Darren Elias. Ace 6-6 on the flop. Darren Elias needs 2 5s. Those are his only outs to survive in this tournament. Jack of clubs of the turn, not going to get it done. 5% going to the river here for Darren Elias. 3 of hearts, no good. Darren Elias is out of the tournament. GG. Ben Heath chipping up 9 million chips going his way. The field now down to 38 players after that hand. I think it should update in a second.
Ready for golf tomorrow. That's where we go.
Well, he's got 40k to spaz now.
There it is.
Getting the games, guys.
23 million, 40 big blinds for Ben Heath. Deep in this 10K.
I always make the final table,
Make
you see,
like
so I'm
20
busy
back.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's true, Muggy W. Like, a bracelet is really important in North American poker scene, less so in Europe. I get that for sure, and I feel that as well. There's definitely some Europeans that don't make the trip to the World Series every summer. So there's something to that. But for me as well, like, just to be honest, you guys, you know, it's not like I'm not offering really any value to party poker by going to the World Series. Like, there's plenty of people that play. It's not really helping them in any regard. It's kind of just helping me, right? And then also, like, I don't earn any online money when I'm there. I obviously earn live poker money, but it's not like Twitch revenue. There's no Twitch revenue, right? You know, the World Series of Poker isn't interested in like endorsing people to come play their tournaments, and why would they? There's 100, you know, more famous poker pros that play the WSOP for free. So like, why would they pay online guys, streamers, to like come play? They shouldn't. But it also just like, well, there's no incentive there, you know? Whereas there would be incentive at other tournaments. So it's just like, it's not the best option, really. But one day I will play, man. It'd be fun. It'd be fun to go for summer, for sure. Post up in a house with a backyard pool, talk with other people about poker all night long. You know, hang out. It'd be good times.
Maybe this
Check Discord for a spare minute.
At this stage in the tournament, we should be switching the table every 2 hours.
Agreed.
Um,
I don't like this no sunglasses rule. I don't like any like. I get that the like covering the face has become.
Kelvin,
OTT
1.2 million. Action on Nicholas now with his ace king of spades in the big blinds.
in general, but poker is freedom, you know. And the whole beauty of poker is you're allowed. If you
Don't you think winning a bracelet or a running deep helps your reputation and growth online? Of course, for sure it does, yeah. But you don't win one every time you go, right? So like, you are making an investment that's going to pay off when you win the bracelet. When you don't, it's going to be a net negative, of course.
Why? Yeah, it makes it better. Like,
So,
visual
I mean, that's part of the equation.
One of the great things that welcomes everyone to poker is that you've got a whole different group of characters. All
Could live stream the event on Twitch before or after.
doing whatever they want.
Yeah, you could live stream yourself going to the event,
Paying the money.
right? You can post on social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can make YouTube vlogs of the situation. So you can do a lot. You couldn't live stream the event. I don't believe you're allowed to vlog whole cards of the actual event either.
I agree, but it goes against.
All right, just let me
Yeah, I see both sides.
open my cashier for a second.
Obviously, Detroit million.
Be right back to the action chat. I just need to make sure I don't
That's £1 million.
pop up my parents' address.
And even then, Bryn didn't wear a suit, did he?
Bryn's Bryn, you know.
Okay.
Bryn wore like something really.
Yeah, I think that was over the top the suit rule, but I don't hate this. When it gets to the point when you've got 3 people sat there with complete faces covered up, it's not very welcoming, and I think it is detrimental to amateur players, and I don't really want things to go bad for detrimental to amateur
Queen 10
players.
against ace 3 here.
But I do agree.
You can't. People can't visualize or understand the pressure that builds in these tournaments with 1,000 entrants. You know,
Yeah.
in a 10k.
And also, I agree because I know it hurts some people more. Some people are more comfortable amongst themselves around other people. Some people aren't. So
I'm cool with the no covering the mouth with like big, you know, like wearing literally wearing the Chinese face mask. You know, like is that okay? Not really. It's not welcoming at all. Is it?
King, king, jack at the flop.
Maybe they're sick. You know, like maybe like just
Um,
you know.
Kelvin raising queen.
okay, we've got a message here. I just have seen your stream. I want to say that I thought you were super adorable. Oxtelitexo, thank you. Maybe it'd be fun to roleplay with you as your online girlfriend. Okay, this is getting really weird, dude. Thank you. That's very kind. You've caught me a little off guard here for a second. I'm engaged, and Rebecca's not going to be happy. Delete. Okay, we can't do this. But cheers. Thank you for the romantic interest. It's very flattering. Confidence boosting, my friend. I appreciate it. You'll find Prince Charming in no time, I promise. Okay? I don't promise, actually. You might never. It's not a guarantee, but hope for the best for you, my friend. Okay? Good luck. Calvin's going to bet. Take it down. Anyways, moving on with poker. Continuing with the poker action. Poker, poker, poker. As we are 7-handed here. We're going to get a new player in, I'm assuming. Darren Elias out the door pretty quickly. Playing 8-handed, so I guess it might rebalance at 32 left. That's probably it.
I don't think I'm going to be able to drive home if I don't sleep on the plane.
Any thoughts on Nick Marchington? I don't really know much about Nick Marchington. I know he has been on Twitch a little bit. I forget what his screen name is. But he's been on Twitch some. I know he's World Series of Poker main event. I know there was like controversy where some of his backers tried to like get more money from him from the World Series of Poker main event. So I don't know. I don't really know, dude. I don't know the guy personally. Talit, you guys know it was a copy paster, right? Yeah, dude. I was in on the joke. I got you, man. I got you, man. The chat fell hard though. They didn't know. Some of the chat doesn't know what copy pastas are, bro. We've got a poker forward audience here, man. Hey, I'm Nick M. Are you Nick 376?
Think about it.
Marchingston. True.
Jetson will fold his small.
Yeah, I know who he is at the table, Dublin Gangster. Yeah, I don't really know enough about him to like give you an opinion or anything.
Suit, not a lot.
Seems to be playing well today, but I don't know him personally. So Benjamin taking down a pot. Ben Heath, 24.6 million. Nice amount of chips here. I was answering someone else in the chat. See, I'm not used to this no delay stuff, dude, where we can have like real time convos. It's intense. Kelvin under the gun with the 6-5 is going to give it a pass. Scott now with the King of Hearts, 7 of Diamonds. Folds. Matthew folds in the hijack as well. Rebecca and Chris have made it back.
Nick. Well, it's just not funny.
Nicholas with the aces. How'd it go, guys?
He's the best dealer in poker.
We're alive. That's always good.
I think it's a better feeling flopping this out on the dry board.
Nick Marchingston raises it up to 1.2 million. Peter Jetton, no good. Aaron with 55 million. That's a chunk of chips, man. That's a lot of chips there. Ben Heath now on the big blind. King 7 of clubs. Very playable hand here. Definitely one you want to at least see a flop with. He could 3-bet as well, but I would call in the spot, I think, is the standard move.
It kind of doesn't get better than that at all than Ludo had. Like, that was almost like as good as it gets.
$10,000.
Yeah, without doing really anything.
All right, Ben Hills with his King 7 of
And here we go. 3.3 million in the middle. Going to a flop. Aces against King 7 suited. Ace 8-9 on the flop. Nick Marchingston has flopped the top set. Ben Heath has missed. Doesn't mean it's over, though.
Nope.
I got started in poker watching you on Twitch. Oh, cheers, man. I can't tell if you're the real Nick Marchingston or not, but if you are, welcome to the chat. And thanks for hanging. You're still in touch with Mike Vacanti? Yeah, dude. Yeah, every once in a while we text back and forth. See him on the gram, of course. Have you ever folded aces pre-flop? Yes. Once by accident, and then a few times in satellites where I already had my seat guaranteed. But never in a normal tournaments. That wasn't a satellite. We continue on here. Deep in the day 3 coverage. How was your journey to...
It was fine, it was fine. I stalled on the driveway coming back, but other than that, it was perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
You feeling more comfy with the drives and the ride and stuff?
Yeah, like it was busy and stuff, and everything was fine. But my hearing aid actually ran out as well, just as I left.
Yikes.
So I had to do the drive, and I couldn't really hear very well, but it was fine.
Yeah. Good.
Made it.
Cool. Thank you.
The area, the Vixen,
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. Thanks, Rebecca.
where the Vic is.
All right, guys. I have a sandwich here. So I am going to take off the face cam for a second, have a bite to eat, but I'll just turn up the commentary for you guys. You can listen to the natural commentary, and I'll be back in like 6-7 minutes. Cool? So we continue here. 37 left in the field. Day 3 coverage of the 10,300 Caribbean poker party. Good tournament. We're going to keep doing the commentary, play the KO series on the side, and good stuff, man, okay? So I'll be right back, chat. Stay with me.
I'm starting to think about it, and I'm like, ugh.
Peter raises the cutoff of his short stack. Ben with 5s in the small.
Around 8.
This feels like a... It's going to put some pressure on, right, Tom? opening of 14 bigs. It's interesting when Peter's been doing a lot just open jamming.
Kind of like jamming more, but
Yeah, there it is. Rip it in. Calvin folds. Peter will follow him into the muck. These guys certainly slowing down a little. Not a whole lot of action. Matt with 21 bigs. Can't do a lot. Nick, well, just short of 40 now. Much more playable. Peter, the proverbial short stack. Just under 12 bigs. Ace 8 in the hijack.
have to shove.
He does. Aaron, I'll table chip leader, 90 bigs. Not really had a chance to get involved at this table. Ben, King Jack on the button.
Gotta fold.
Does do just that.
Yeah, around 8 still.
Scott, questions. But he's up against 4. He's looking down at 4-3 offsuit. 4-3 offsuit, I should say. Here we go. I'll get the words out, Tom. It's tough this speaking sometimes, you know.
He's looking down at 4-3 offsuit, and he's gonna fold. And it's a great fold.
It is a great fold.
It's a great.
It's
fold.
underrated, that fold.
That's a top class fold.
Not everyone would make it, you know.
No, some people they would look down and think,
A lucky hand.
I've got a pair of 4s. Oh wait, I got 4-3 off.
Aaron, ace queen in the hijack.
There you go. Drop of 5. That was pretty good.
At least it didn't go up again.
Yeah, right. Now we have 25. They're selling the badges
Handing
out
out
there.
badges. After next break, I will show up with
All right, this is gonna be my last hand coming.
All right,
up.
come on,
have
guys. Give Tom
let's
something
have,
good.
Let's have some action.
Give him
please.
something exciting.
Show me something, boys.
Give him something to think about all the way to the airport. He'd be
Um,
replaying the hand in
I'm
his head.
not gonna be replaying.
Come on.
nothing. I'm gonna be.
Zoned out.
No, I'm gonna be worrying about all sorts of bollocks. I'm gonna be like, oh, what's gonna happen when I get to Heathrow? No.
You're going to get to Heathrow, you're going to jump in your car, you're going to drive home.
Probably,
With
but
a nice little nap. And you get up and you're going to grind online.
nah.
That's my read.
If I go home, there's no way I'm gonna play poker on Saturday.
Oh, it's Saturday tomorrow, yeah.
I mean, it's a 3-hour drive after a 9-hour flight. That's just ludicrous.
Yeah, but you're kind of a
I'm
ludicrous
not
guy.
like Mormon or
Yeah.
like one of these other animals who just don't sleep.
Mormon does just love the game. I think you went 5 years without missing a Sunday
Yeah,
at one point. Pretty incredible.
makes sense.
260 Sundays in a row grinded.
Yeah. Oh well, that's me.
Early completes 3-4 off in the small.
11.
Nick king 6 in a big. Well, we could still get, you know, the 6-5 deuce flop.
Yeah, some stuff can happen. I'll be seeing you in Nottingham, Dempsey.
You will indeed. The next Party Poker Millions.
Yeah.
Nottingham. 10k 5 million guaranteed in January.
Hola, 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 hola,
Get
hola, hola,
qualifying.
hola, hola, hola.
For free.
We're back.
Everyone.
For free.
Thanks for waiting with me, chat. But I'm back with a bit of commentary. What'd I miss, dude? I don't think anyone busted, right?
This is gonna
Do you know Michael Nowinski, Canadian poker player? I don't know Michael. No. I might know him, but by name I don't. I'm really bad with names.
it's been an interesting
Man,
day.
I'm not very good at all.
It can be a bit slow, but
I wish I was better, but I struggle.
Well, thanks, Brink, for coming in.
I'm looking it up.
it's all good. It's all good. I
Safe
enjoy
trip
it.
home.
Hendon Mob, $1 million in live earnings. I don't think I've ever met him before.
The table that's coming up
Who
next.
we got? Oh, we got Bill Blaze. Will
No,
Blaze.
although we probably played similar tournaments, honestly. 2012 Spring Ultra Stack in Vancouver, May 2012. And then 600 WCP Circuit in Richmond in 2013. 2016 World Series of Poker. We probably played in the same tournaments live
Will Swap.
at some point, but
Oh no.
Forgot to message him.
Oh no.
I know.
looking up his photo on Google here.
This is what we got coming up next anyway.
I don't know.
And we got Pro Beers and Harry Lodge.
Harry Lodge.
Harry Lodge. I've had
With the,
a nice Brazilian barbecue with Harry Lodge in Malta.
Yesterday.
At EPT Malta. Good dude, man. Good guy, Harry Lodge.
I haven't seen that before.
All right, good night, folks.
All right, buddy. Have a safe trip home.
Mm. Anyways, back to our future.
Okay, so Tom was going to make his way to the airport.
Do you have any interest in playing any of the live party poker events like Jeff Gross? He seems to go to all of them. Double Gangster.
Before we do change our feature
Be a lot of fun, dude. I don't think it's how it could be most helpful to party poker, though. So, if I could clone myself, I'd be at all of them as well. But I think I'm not doing my best if I'm doing that, you know? I think I gotta stay online and stream. I'm Team Online captain after all, you know? It's Team Online. Gotta play online, man. Ben Heath's gonna fold under the gun. Kelvin under the gun. One folds. Scott gives it a pass. No thank you, says Matthew. Man, what a bunch of trashy hands. All garbage until it gets around to Peter Jetton, who has 7 million chips and has a 600k big blind. So this is an interesting spot for him.
12 bigs.
Because it's probably a little bit too wide to shove, I'm guessing. Like, probably not quite strong enough to want to move all in, although it's close. So it looks like he's going to elect to limp here. And Aaron checks in the big blind. Okay.
Queen 4 suited.
What do you think of the Man City Spurs highlights that say you were buzzing? Man, Tottenham has had an incredible last week or so, man. New signing, Tottenham Man City highlights, epic, incredible match. Coming back from a 2-1 disadvantage against,
6-4 Aaron flipping
I
it
forget, against Southampton.
back. Just gonna
I mean, come on, man. What a great time for Tottenham.
big 1 point.
Hopefully we keep it going, but it's a little bit of a break, dude. It's all right. Pure poker focus for a while. But there's a bit of a break until they play again. What a debut goal, right? Pretty crazy, man. Calvin Just going to fold the 10-4 here. Scott with ace-10. This is a playable hand. Scott has about 15 million, but we have seen Scott play pretty tight in these spots.
+1.
So he could fold here too. No, he's going for hands. Okay, there we go.
Gonna make it 2.5 bigs.
Does make it 1.5 millions. 2.5 big blinds. Those are on Nicholas at the cutoff. This is also a playable hand, but how? Calling isn't great. Typically, you want a 3-bet bluff with this one.
A lot of pressure on.
But Scott's stack doesn't allow that very easily here. It has like 24, 25 blinds. So let's see what Nicholas elects to do. It almost looked like he reached for a fold. It was interesting. Huh. Yeah, he looks to be sizing out 4.2 million. There you go. 4.2 million.
4.2 million.
Okay. Everyone's going to fold here. 37 left in the field. Back to the two of them. Action back on Scott, who we can see has the best hand, but I think he's going to really struggle to continue here. Can't feel very good about his situation with ace-10 offsuit.
We've seen him.
Let's see what he likes to do.
One of the weakest hands he's going to open with.
There it is. Nicholas going to take it down. And I think a good 3-bet and a good fold, actually. We can see it wasn't the right fold in the current situation, but I think a fine fold without the information that we have with the whole cards. Can't blame him for that. All right, KO series still on the go here. We've got a 328 max and 55 8 max kicking off. I'm going to register both of those, but not yet. I've still got the 55 on the side here, you guys, and I'm sitting on 75K. So KO series sweat continues. Still 700 players left, so not really a respectable stack or anything. Just I'm alive at the tournament. I'm just reporting, that's all. And we have about another 2 hours and 10 minutes left in play today.
Scott on the gun. Pocket fours. I like to just fold this 20 odd bigs. Player in the big blind.
This is not a great hand to raise. I think if I'm Scott, I'd fold here. And the problem is he's got 23 blinds. So he doesn't have a lot of room to flop sets and actually win a lot of money. And when he doesn't flop a set, he's got a really difficult hand to play. Against a 3-bet, he's got a really difficult hand to play. So it's just like there's not a lot of good situations here with the fours. I think typically you would wait until you have 6s to raise in Scott's spot. But let's see how it works out. It doesn't mean it can't win this time. That's just my approach to the hand. This is a $10,000 buy-in, Dublin Gangster. Yep. $10,300 buy-in.
Kelvin. Wow, the very dominated 4-5.
Yep, Kelvin with the 5-4 here in the big blinds. I mean, probably going to fold. I would guess fold here. I think it's a little bit weak, especially against a 2.5 big blind raise, which is bigger than a min raise. So Kelvin should fold based on that, in my view. But let's see what he elects to do here. He seems to be thinking about it. He calls. Okay.
Does elect to call. He's considering it for the larger sizing.
I think it's very, I don't know. It's an interesting move. Uh-oh.
Wow. 4-6.
Uh-oh. Bottom set for Scott. The case 4 on the flop. Kelvin with bottom pair and an open ender. And he's got to think like, oh, Scott doesn't have a piece of this. Because it doesn't look like he does. He raised under the gun. I guess he can have 4s and 6s and 7s and pocket 5s for an open ender. But like, you know, other than that, like if you're Kelvin, you feel pretty good. Because mostly Scott has ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, ace 9 suited, ace 8 suited. And yeah, maybe ace 7, ace 6, ace 4 suited. King, queen, king, jack, king 10, queen, jack suited, queen 10 suited, jack 10 suited, 10, 9 suited. Like all sorts of stuff that misses, man. Way more than what hits. So Kelvin's got to feel good, and it may cost him here. Let's see what happens. Kelvin does have 25% to win the hand. Scott sitting on a commanding 73%.
He's bet quite big, 2.5 million.
37 left in the tournament as of now.
In his mind, the worst case is if against an overpair. 13 outs. just gonna call.
Betting a call. All right.
His mind perhaps knows the bad cards are the big ones.
On the turn, 7 of spades.
Good card for him.
Great for Scott. He loves this card. Kelvin doesn't think this card is going to help out Scott very often. He's got to think it misses him quite often. So this is not a good card for him. Let's see what happens here. Playing low stakes tournaments online, $1 to $10. Do you think it's worth it to buy Raise Your Edge Masterclass or wait till I get to higher buy-ins? If I was you, I would buy it. AGJ. And that's not only because I have a discount code, sick plug, below the stream. It gives you money off. But in all sincerity, for me, like, poker is a serious hobby, right? So, like, I will be using poker for years. I've used poker for a decade now. So investing in my own learning has paid dividends time and time and time and time again, right? But it depends for you. Like, how serious of a hobby is poker for you? If you're serious about it, then you should invest in your education. I think Raise Your Edge is the best out there. If it's just like something you play, like, you know, maybe like once every 2 weeks for like a couple hours, and you're like whatever about it, then no, I wouldn't. So it'd be, I would ask yourself, how important is poker to you as a game? If it's important,
Calling bottom pair, and that's
then go for it.
it's pot way bigger than both players.
Invest in yourself.
5.5
Raise Your Edge, great way to do it. The best, I think. The best way to invest in yourself. Dollar for dollar. Maybe this stream is the best way to invest in yourself dollar for dollar, though, because it's free, man.
Spade on
Beyond the free resources.
not call Kelvin into
King of spades in the end. This could allow Kelvin to get away, perhaps. 6.6 million behind. There's 17 million in the pot. And Kelvin's put himself in a terrible spot here. It just really sucks. I think it's a check fold for Kelvin. I think that's probably what's going to happen. I sure hope Scott bets with the 4s full of 7s here.
Kelvin folds his loss.
Then you should go for it, GJ. You should go for it, man.
Chips behind.
I recommend it, man.
Scotty, all right. Like about 20
Go
million.
on, Scott. 22.3 million. Big pot going his way. His opponent correctly folds to the river, but I can't help but play hindsight is 2020 devil's advocate here and be like, perhaps that was just a fold pre-flop
When we come back,
with the 5-4 for 2.5 blinds. It's a big raise. Upswing seems good too. Yeah, I've never tried upswing before. I've never tried it, to be honest, so I can't attest to its how good it is. But I imagine it's good as well. You know, I'm sure it's good. I'm just a Raise Your Edge guy. I've improved a lot with their course. I think it's great. We have a KO series discount going on as well right now. Because of KO series. I think it's exclamation mark KO or bounty. Exclamation mark bounty, baby. Aaron gonna raise it up with the King 9. Ben Heath in the dealer button spot. Looking down at King Queen. I mean, a hand you want to play here. There you go.
Despite the fact he has such a big stack.
Ben calls. All right.
Does it like just a call? Scotty, Jack Deuce suited in the big. Ready to call.
Scott folds.
Three-way.
We're going to the flop. Heads up here.
Over 2.5x the raise.
Ten, 5, 4.
Sees the flop come.
Both players have missed. We can see Ben Heath has the best hand with the King Queen. I agree. 5-4 off is a fold up to 2.5 blinds, even to 2.1. Probably 8-7 suited. I would get behind a lot more. Yeah, for sure. But I'm a bit biased from playing Omaha a lot. Guard Bandit. Yeah, like I'm in there with 5-4 suited as well. For 2.5 blinds. But yeah, I'm with you.
Firing out on the flop.
I'm with you on that. I mean, I think. Well, we agree. That's what you're saying. We agree. Fair. Wow. Okay. Aaron taking down some chips there. Sick moves.
All right.
And
that's
it looks like we're gonna switch up tables. The racks are on the table, so I feel like we're making a switch here.
800.
Aaron, 75 big blinds, 60 bigs, actually. Or no, 60 million, 75 big blinds is our chip leader to the table. Kelvin Kerber on 8 blinds. Peter Jetton also on 8 blinds, staying alive. Ben Heath's good to see him. Nicholas Marchinston, Scott Wellenbach, Matthew Erdley. Fun table, man. But I'm in for new blood. Let's see what happens. Let's get a new situation here, chat. Thank you all very much for hanging out today. We are watching day 3 of the $10,300 Millions Caribbean World event. And Caribbean Poker Party, main event, I should say.
Poker party, main event.
And yeah, it's been a good little bit of coverage. We streamed a little bit last Saturday. We're back on it today to finish day 3. Then day 4, hopefully Friday and Saturday morning to finish off the tournament and get the results. But let's go back here. Here we go. Ludovic Geilich is the chip leader on 91 blinds here. Andres Nemeth at the table. Miguel Sawan, William Blaze, Jonathan Kozel, Gregory Baird, and Joaquin Blanco. So, pretty nice table, man. Pretty nice situation here. Ludovic Geilich is the one that stands out the most to me. I feel like we sweated Kozel this week so far. At some points. Yeah. We'll see how it goes out, man. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there we got cranberries. Right. Ice Splash Cranberries in the 4 seat. Get us what a little bit of that. Joaquin is going to raise up 8-7 of diamonds.
So on your level, 400k.
Is it Joaquin? Anyone speak Spanish? Ludo is a Scotsman. He is. Dublin gangster. Yeah. I would. Yeah. I don't know where. I don't know where. I was going to try and guess where in Scotland, and then I was just like, you haven't been here long enough to know. Cranberries is going to call behind with the ace-jack of spades here. Moving on to William in the cutoff with king-jack of hearts. Very reasonable hand, like a hand that might be worth playing, especially it's okay in a multi-way pot. King-jack suited. But let's see what they decide to do here. You could squeeze as well. It's also an option. If you haven't had haggis yet, Jamie, I haven't had haggis, man. I haven't had it. It's not top on my list, to be honest. I'm not pushing it to like have to make it happen. If it happens, it happens. If not, I will be okay. All right, ace jack, king jack, 8-7, 9-8. Going to a flop here. Queen 5 deuce. Nice job, dealer. That was a clean spread of the cards there. Now, does anyone have anything? William has a flush draw. That's what we can see here. Jonathan technically has the best hand with ace high, but doesn't. Probably not going to know. 3 to a royal flush. That's the thing. Jonathan checks. Now action on William with this flush draw in a very multi-way pot. He's got 23 million, and there's 7.6 million in the middle. So it could go for a small bet and try and get hands to fold. We can see that would probably be a good idea with this lineup. He can't see that. He does go for a bet at 2.6 million. I think this is just going to work. I think it's just going to go fold, and we move on. Fold, and decision. Ice Splash Cranberries is like, huh, what's going on here? What's happening here?
Will is betting this one 4-way.
Haggis or stew streaming? Haggis or surströmming? I can't. It's hard to say the O ... I don't know what that is, man. But neither? Can I do neither? I'm a food wuss right now, dude. A food wuss. I'm keeping it super just plain. Or plain for me. I know my plain is not universal plain, but like just keeping it normal. All right, King Jack takes it down. I like the hoodie swag, man. I like this. Couple bonus zippers. Got a little bit of flash. going on, I'm in. There is a lot of face covering going on right now. A lot of hoodies up. There's a lot happening where you can't see what is going on with people's necks and stuff. We're going to see Andres raise it up with a queen jack of clubs. William in the hijack looking down at the 9. William looking down at the 9-9 against the queen jack of clubs. I like this vibe too, though, man. This is a good vibe. I'm into it. It's good. Good hoodie, good colors going on here. I really like the light gloves behind you. Cheers. They are IKEA bulbs and then IKEA bulbs in them that you can change. They're on a controller, so you can change the color and like the brightness and all that. Fermented herring is the English word for surströmming. Is Swedish. Okay. Yeah, I haven't broken into the fermented game at all, to be honest. I don't know what's going on in the fermented world. Haven't had any. Ace 4, Queen Jack 9s. It is a deuce 3-8. Ace 4 with an interesting flop here. I'd say the most interesting flop for Ace 4. Flop's the gutter. Andres has 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw. If it goes club. But even if it's a club on the turn, there's some interesting action. And William in the hijack has pocket 9, so an overpair to the board. But isn't like super happy given these 3 ways. Now Andres is going to bet 2 million. You've had fermented grapes. I have, Wick 88. True story, man. Is that like kippered herring? I used to eat those out of cans. I don't know, man. I don't know the story here. And William is going to raise with the overpair, which will work here, I think. It's a very scary raise. If you're William and you raise, and then someone comes over the top, you just fold, I guess. I guess you raise folding. But then also against a call, what do you do with the 9s? You're pretty dang scared, you know? What if you don't have that sort of money for the courses? Are there any good books you can recommend that talk about ranges, pre-flop play in certain positions, etc. from MMB? There isn't, man. Because the poker meta and the poker strategy updates all the time. It's constantly evolving and changing. So digital resources is better. I think like saving up for courses is fine. Start with free resources on YouTube, on Twitch is good. There's also training sites as well that are like cheaper monthly subscriptions, but they're usually not holistic. It's not usually like, here is the whole game of poker, like mindset, pre-flop, ranges, approach, thought process, flop, in position, out of position, different stack depths, different opponent types, turn, river, game theory. Like, it doesn't teach you everything. It's just like little bits from different areas, and you can grab little pieces of it, you know. So !learn. I've got a few learning sources up there on my website that will give you like a few options of cheaper sites as well. But you can start for free too, you know.
Although, you would like to think that those overcards folded the flop.
So I can't believe Andres made it to the turn. I blanked because I was in that question, and so he called on the flop to the raise, hit the top pair, and is now betting the river for value? Let's think about this. Raise pre-flop, it goes 3 or 4 ways to the flop. It's a bet from Andres, a raise from William, a fold, and then a call with Queen Jack, which at that point was 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw.
He's gonna feel sick.
Check, and now a value bet river? I can't work this out either. I can't work out the call on the flop. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know how he got there. You should fold flop. He shouldn't c-bet. But if he does c-bet, he should definitely fold flop. And then he probably shouldn't value bet a river either. I mean, it gets a flop raise 4 ways. I mean, his opponent was right. Like, something's up. Like, this is weird. But unfortunately, that this is weird got there. That's a very weird hand, though. Very, very weird. I'm not sure. I can't believe that happened. I like the style of seat 1, man. I see a Chicago Blackhawks hat. I'm not a Blackhawks fan, but I just like it, dude. I see the hockey hair out the back. Good vibes, man. I'm liking it. I feel like I'm back at a cash game at home, seat 1. You'll see in a second, chat.
Oh, Andreas, 10-4 under the gun. Ill-gotten gains, 56 million chips.
Weird is so normal at the poker table, though. Not in a 10K, man. Not in a 10K. It's big events. Oh, what? We don't get a C1 view. There we go. Gregory in the cutoff. Look at the Gregory vibes, man. It's sweet. That's some hockey hair right there. Ludo. The dealer button. Spacing his chips out here. Got 70 million. Our table chip leader. There's a lot of chips. We saw the best fold I've ever seen in my life earlier in the day today. Incredible. And it was against Ludo. So that's going to hurt. But he's still in the tournament with a lot of chips and 33 left. Jokin in the small blind here. Covers the face. The tank is on. Cranberries, our friend of the stream, in the big blind. Let's see what happens here. There it is. Moses TV. You got the payouts. 33 left. So 40,000 guaranteed. We're on a pay jump, though. It's a 5K pay jump. Jokin limps. Jonathan checks with the 10-4 option. We go to a flop. iRacer67. What's up, yo? Welcome to the team. Hearts up in chat. Thanks for your subscription to the channel, iRacer. Appreciate that $5 support of the stream, man. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Both players miss. Jokin's got to feel good about the ace high, though. It's a good spot. Won a tournament on Party. Now I have $450 in my account. Going to try and make it big. Learning every day. Been playing for 16 years and can never learn it all. You can't. I'm 10 years in, and I still have so much I need to learn, my friend. I'm with you. So congratulations on the win. Nice to have a bankroll. Use it well. Patience. Best of luck, my friend. Are you planning on coming to Calgary for the World Series of Poker in April? It would be cool to see you on the felt. I am not JNC, but crush it, man. Calgary is a 9-hour flight and probably $1,000 flight as well away, you know, and time away from the stream and grinding and stuff. I just can't do it, but have a good time, man. And if I was in that part of the world, I'd definitely go play. I would take a swing at it, man, for sure. Jonathan, scooping a pot. Feels good, man. Feels good, cranberries. Hiding your face is an effective strategy. New poker player here. Yeah, people are hiding tells is the idea. I think it's better to be on the offensive as opposed to the defensive with tells and stuff. I find people often do this, but I think it's better to just like be the reading one. Be the person that people hide their tells from as opposed to the other way. Hide your tells from other people. Because that's generally how it works. There's like an aggressor with their stare or their information gathering, and then there's a defensive. So I don't know. To me, I don't think it's a big thing, but it's in vogue for sure to cover the face or cover the body or you know, like scarves or like, you know, just like keep it tight. I don't know. I don't buy the meta. It's not my thing. There is the heartbeat thing, though, which was exploited earlier in this tournament. A player on the other side of the table looked at the heartbeat of a player, saw that it was fast, and it calmed down relatively quickly. and deduced that he was unlikely to be bluffing based on how quickly his heartbeat slowed down. In this tournament, we saw the fold. It was an incredible fold. Amazing. And he was correct. So maybe protect your heartbeat. Do you add to your 24/7 highlight streamers or just on loop? I watch that every day. Yeah, we have over 8 days of highlights there. Extra Varu. And we add all the new highlights as they are added from Party Poker so that it's up to date. So it's got every highlight we've made for the stream ever. Andros with the ace deuce here. Is that Hungarian flag or Italian? I feel like it's Hungarian. That is Hungary, yeah. Sometimes I forget Hungary in the countries in Europe. Hungary, Slovakia, and Slovenia I miss, and then I miss some in the Balkans as well. Like Macedonia.
The time when Andreas has made aces up.
But I don't. It's not fair to Hungary that I forget, but I just do sometimes.
Does he know that's going to work?
So Jonathan has nothing here. He has 22 million chips. He's a friend of the stream. He's got heart and commitment, but Andres has the best hands with 2 pair.
Aces, as Jonathan, of course, having checked back in position.
We'll see how it plays out.
Jonathan's going to get big if he does.
Oh, I'm all in ace queen against king jack, and I've lost to a straight man. GG. I'll get another KO series going on the side though. So I think it's time to get the 320
Trying to put pressure on
going
9 or
and the 55 soon, but I'll just start with the 320 for now.
2 or 10s. Andreas, check that with on the flop. Maybe a little optimistic this bluff.
Andres thinking, I mean, it's not going to be fold. I'd be extremely surprised if it was a fold. I don't think it can be. Might be considering a raise. I think the play is to call here, in my opinion. I am playing some KO Series Myth Pua. I've just been starting with a live poker and then switching to online poker because I think this content works and it's interesting and I enjoy it. So it's just like additional content I'm starting to make, you know.
Spades. There's a draw heavy board in the turn.
But we'll be playing the KO Series events tonight. Andres does raise with ace deuce here. Jonathan is gonna fold, you know, like 7 high. It's not gonna be a call, and I don't think it's a good idea to bet 3-bet with a 7-5. Gives it up. Get in the $5 with me, the baby one. I don't want to multi-table while we're doing the live commentary, you know? I think we've got about an hour and a half yet. We got a new player to the table here in seat 8. Oh, no, they've already been at the table. I recognize the hat, but I don't know the player. I don't know the player.
Officer Lulo on the case. No one getting away with it.
So we have about an hour and 40 minutes left in coverage here of day 3. And then it'll just be day 4 coverage after that, so it'll be nice. I think we play down to 24 in this day 3 coverage, and then in the next day we go 24 to a winner. How do you really read a heartbeat from Liquis? Well, I'm assuming the guy said he used the clock behind Ludo to measure his heart rate, right? And then measured how quickly it fell and deduced that it fell too quickly to be a bluff. He wasn't nervous enough for it to be a bluff because you do get excited when you have a good hand, but it calms down relatively quickly. Whereas with a bluff, it might be elevated for a longer period of time. So he was saying this is the guy he was against as well. Pretty crazy, but as a U.S. resident and poker hobbyist, where might I find the closest thing to real money poker online? From Ken Has Burritos. In about 4 states, they're regulated online poker in the U.S. In 48 states, there is unregulated poker that, at least to my knowledge, seems legal to play as a consumer, but illegal to spread as a operator. And then in 2 states, it's a felony to play poker. So it depends. I'm not the right guy to go to. But on Twitch Poker, if you follow the listing, there's a lot of people in America that stream, especially at night in the U.S. time. So they'll be able to give you better advice on that. Ludo raised it up to 1.7 million. William is just going to shove here for 15 million. Back on Ludo, who, I mean, I think this is too many chips. The King Jack. Just too many chips here. I remember running a $1,500 bluff at a 1-2 table a while back. When I looked at my wrist afterwards, I noticed my heart rate was insanely high. Yeah, dude. I mean, I remember when I first started playing, like, bluffing and my heart being in my throat, like, trying to keep it together. And when you're out of practice playing live tournaments, especially big live tournaments, when you, like, freeze and try not to give up until, it's like, sometimes it, like, your head bobbles because you're just so tense that you're like trying to stay still, that you're tensing up, and it just like overloads, man. Whereas it's much better to just, you're just here, you know. But it's easier said than done. 32 left of the field now. So we have hit a pay jump here. 1 table needs to be eliminated before the end of day of coverage. And William is going to scoop that pot, of course.
Left, 45k hay jump. Can't tell you the last speaker out. Kelvin Kerber, of course, who we saw on here.
My fart rate goes through the roof, can clear out a 20 by 20 room. Okay. All right, Fungus Among Us, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Hey, Fungus Among Us. You're out of control, man. Keep it in control. Mr. Sick Flow here, Gregory, with the 10-8 of clubs. Gonna give it a pass under the gun. Not a lot of chips.
Ludo 9s, +1. 4 tables left in the millions.
Ludo with the 9s. Under the gun +1, 68 million chips. Definitely a hand he wants to play. Reaching for some chips here. And that's a raise, 1.7 million. Joking Queen 6 of Hearts, not good enough. At least I don't think it is. Hey, I'm not him. I'm not him, but I don't think it's good enough. Miguel in the big blinds. All right, it's Miguel. We know now. From Spain. And we're going to the flop, which is Ace Queen 9. Beautiful flop for Ludo. But Miguel has nothing, man. So I don't think there's any money that's going to happen here. I mean, this is such a dream flop for Ludo. The standard is to bet. We did see him check back with jacks. So it'd be very surprising to me if he checks again with a set. But, I mean, I think you got to bet, man. You have bottom set. Like, you got to bet. In your opinion, Jamie, will I improve and see my difference from taking tips from my games as I'm intermediate at the moment? For sure you will. Yeah. No, that's great as well. Definitely it'll help you. Definitely, for sure. It's a great free resource, my friend. What does it mean? Here's Mark Lange. Mark Lang or Lange? How would you say it in German, chat? I'm going to go with Mark Long. Mark Long. That's it. I don't know what a hot seat is, part of the payout structure. I assume it meant pick a seat at random and whoever eliminates that seat wins said prize. Is that correct? I don't know how the hot seat works, man. I don't get it. Myth Pua. I was checking out Matt Staples a few minutes ago. The Pirates hat, shaking my head. Do I need to send you guys some Chicago gear? I'm a Cubs guy. It's your favorite American played sport. The guy needs to share the Chicago love on stream from Mythbua. We don't live together right now. Matty Ice lives in Calgary. I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland. Matt has like 30 hats or something. He has a bunch of different clubs. I don't think he has the Cubs hat, though. Don't think he has it. My teams, if we're going across the sports, starting with hockey, Montreal favorite, second favorite Detroit, third favorite Calgary. American football, the Patriots. Baseball, the Blue Jays. Basketball, the Raptors. Canadian football, don't know. North American football, Vancouver Whitecaps. Premier League football, the Tottenham Hotspur. And Champions League football, roasted Arsenal. And then, who do I support at the World Cup? England. Who do I support in the Olympics? Canada. Soft spot in my heart for Leeds, yes. In the Championship Division, Leeds, I hope for. In League One, Sunderland, because it's a great documentary on Netflix. I think I've covered the span here. Don't have any rugby clubs. Don't have a Scottish football club. Golfer, doesn't matter. That's it, man. I won't hold you being a Habs fan against you, Jamie. All right, Card Bandit. Come on, it's an iconic club, man. It's an iconic club. You can be an adopted Bears or Cubs fan. Man, you gotta, like, you're a Canadian baseball fan. You have to be a Blue Jays fan. Come on, man. It's our only baseball club. Although we used to have a Montreal Expos, right? The Expos, and then that wasn't a thing anymore. Too bad. NBA, we used to have the Grizzlies, Vancouver Grizzlies. No longer. I think the Grizzlies would be very successful if they were a franchise now in Vancouver, but I don't think Vancouver was ready back then. Leinster of rugby, Jamie. All right. Is that a thing? True, but you need a National League team. I don't know, man. That's a little deep for baseball. What about football, the American kind? Patriots. Not a huge fan of American football, but they were the team that were winning when I was like 10 years old. So that's how I picked them as my favorite team. So Miguel is going to bet the ace-6 here against Ludo, who is queen-6, which is not very helpful, either of them. Pats, yeah. I'm slightly embarrassed that Patriots are my favorite team, but it's the most true, man. It's true. I would bet if you went to Wrigley Field, you would fall in love. Iconic and got me hooked. Bet you're right, dude. I bet you're right. Favorite UFC fighter? George St. Pierre, probably. Canadian, clinical. All about mastery of the class, or of the craft, not flashy. GSP, probably. CFL, I don't know. It'd probably be the Argonauts, Montreal Argonauts. Because Argonauts, the head of social media, the Argonauts used to watch the stream. So I was like, okay, I like this guy. I like this team now. And that's it. Those are the only sports I really sweat. I don't know. Moving on here. I think it said 30 left, right? We'll get, yeah, so 30 left out of 948 that started. Ice Splash Cranberries, friend of the stream, looks down at the Pocket Kings. If you didn't support Tottenham, who else in the Premier League would you support? I wouldn't. I'd support Leeds exclusively if I didn't. If Tottenham was my team. I wouldn't pick a Premier League team.
Desperate for some action.
Man, Tottenham is definitely the sporting team that I've been most passionate about out of any sport. So I couldn't do it, man. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, there it is. Juarez Waldo. Anaheim Ducks. It's a good team. Jokin in the big blind, looking down at the ace-5 of diamonds. This is a good king's cracking hand. It's a good king cracker here. So let's see if Jokin decides to see a flop here. Chips are in the middle. There it is. All right. We're going to a flop. 4.6 million in the middle. Kings against ace-5 of diamonds. 10-8-4. 1 diamond. Good flop for Jonathan. He's got the overpair. Jokin has some things here. He has 3 to a flush. He has 3 to a straight. He has a bad ace high, which has some showdown value. So it's like 3 tiny pieces. So what does he elect to do with that? Is that enough for him to continue? Or is he just like, I'm going to get in trouble here with this hand and give it up to a c-bet? When leads go up, it'll be fun when they play Spurs next season. That would be great. I hope Leeds goes up. I would definitely support Tottenham in the match, but I would be least sad of any team beating Tottenham if Leeds beat Tottenham. Least sad. But I'd still be sad, but least sad.